Last live today. Should be live now. That looks like it's on. Me. Okay. Because normally... Ah, there we go. Manage your dashboard live. That's a good indication that it's on. Now I can see the duration. Now I can see viewer... Hello and welcome. Your regularly scheduled episode of Way Back Wednesday will not be shown tonight, so that we may bring you this special presentation. You may have also noticed there was no music, there was no intro, there was no pre-roll, there was no anything except it just kind of came on with me looking rather confused. And that's because all of that special stuff is on this computer. This computer that we're going to take apart tonight. Let me explain the setup. First off, it has been probably 15 years since the last time I built a computer. This one I bought, I didn't build. I think I've messed with it a little bit, but that's it. I've added a different card. I may have added memory badly. And that's pretty much it. This thing was so full of dust when I pulled it out earlier that you could actually spoon, dust out of it. So that wasn't, the very best thing I could have done with it. But, the really cool way that I had everything set up with the computer on the shelf and the keyboards and the wires coming from it over to my desk so that it was away and not making noise at me, also kind of kept me from ever being able to clean it. So, there was that. We're going to save what we can out of this thing, and we're going to make ourselves a new computer with the new stuff that I have. So, I don't even know what kind of case this is. I don't even know how to find out what kind of case this is. There's no RGB, because RGB wasn't a thing last time I built a computer. I'll go ahead and set this down. Thusly. And let's see what we got. We have got... motherboard. Let me switch over to that. Okay, so I'm in the corner. That's me. And we got the box here. That's you guys. We could even turn on the top light. And wait for it to get... Okay. Like that. So we got the tough B550M Plus motherboard because in my over 15 minutes of research, Linus... Sebastian told me that the B550 was probably a great chipset and didn't seem like you could really go wrong with that. And then I had to wade my way through what all the different letters were. There was a B550 dash every letter you could think of, along with other things on there. And then I had to correlate that with price and what I could afford. And then I had to figure out what would fit on it and all that kind of stuff. Nothing uses the memory that's in the old computer, so I couldn't keep that. It was an odd matching of 12 gigs anyway, and I don't know what that was about. Has anybody... Oh, good. People can hear me. All right. So I bought a bunch of stuff that I thought would fit, that I thought would go well together. And then, Linus, to the rescue, has a video immediately about how, people need to... there's people out there who don't know how to do this stuff, and it's pretty sad, the ones that don't go to PC Part Picker and see the compatibility before they go, and I'm like, oh, that's what that thing is that he keeps going to. So I went to PC Part Picker after I'd already paid and ordered these things, and no red flags. Very lucky, very happy. That was the way it went, and so, didn't have to send anything back. This is not everything that I ordered. Okay, so that's the motherboard. Also, notice the Amazon thing. Thanks to you, this product has a second life. Saved a good chunk of the price of this thing because we ordered it damaged from the warehouse. Let me show you the damage. If I can find it. There it is. There it is. Check this out. Here's the damage right there. That's the damage, and that got me... like $40 off of this thing. So yeah, cool. Anyway, so yeah, there's that. It came with a book. Who needs a book, right? Me. I need the book. I spent the last week reading that book. This isn't a proper unboxing because I already unboxed it once, but the only reason I did that was to check and see what all was in here. Did they ship the right thing? Is it, you know, but we're still going to get to the fresh experience of it. Next. Memory. We've got Corsair Vengeance 3200 megahertz DDR4 memory. So, awesome. Memory. We got memory. Put that there. We've got, in the middle of this horrible chip shortage, we've got this Ryzen 7. Again, don't know much about this stuff. The last time I got chips, it was, we were past Pentium, we were past the K62 stuff. What was it called? Athlon. AMD Athlon was the thing last time I had to purchase one of these things. Don't know about Ryzen, don't know much about it, did a little bit of research, divided that by what I could afford, and this is what I came up with. Ryzen 7 something. 8-core, 16-thread processor, which is really weird, because I thought that was Intel's thing, to give you multiple threads per processor. It was always kind of weird, you know. I thought AMD was great about having, you know, if it says it's 8 cores, it's actually 8 cores on the thing, but if it says, you know, 4 cores on a Intel chip with the hyper-threading, it was pretending to be 8 cores, but it wasn't really, because they were sharing. Well, I guess whatever that is filtered over here too. When I load this up, my operating system will probably see it as being 16 cores, even though it's not really. I just hope that each of those things is faster than the cores that I had before, because as you probably know if you've been following my stuff, I compile videos and things that sometimes take weeks or months to do. I really need to get into a Threadripper, but I don't have, you know, $3,000-$4,000 to spend just on a chip like that. So Ryzen 7, we got that. What else is here? Oh yeah, this was the biggest shock to me because, again, haven't built a computer in a long time, and the thing that, you know, some old chips would come with nothing, right? And then they started coming with like a heat sink, where you just put this piece of metal on there so that it could radiate out whatever it got hot. And then some of them got really fancy, and there was a little tiny fan that would screw into the heat sink. And then the fans kind of started getting bigger, but they still just came with the chips. And I don't know if there's a fan in that box or not, but everybody told me I had to get my own fan for this. And the biggest box that was delivered, is a freaking fan for this, and that is, I just hope this all fits in my case. I have no idea what's in this box. I may have to leave the side open or drill a hole in it or something. So that's the thing. This is the setup. This is what we have. And I guess the next part is going to be to actually start taking apart the old computer. And we shall do that right now. Now, I feel like at some point there were thumb screws right here. They are no longer. I'll take off the sidewall. Balance that just out of my own reach. Okay. Okay, so that's the old monster. I suppose we'll have to start by disassembling. I should take out some of these cards. I should take out some power stuff. I will try to maintain this thing's integrity. Where? Screwdriver. Okay. Why won't that come out? Very interesting. It seems to be caught under the next screw a little bit. So we'll take that screw out too. Yeah, that was it. Okay, so this is a gigabit Ethernet card. We'll set it aside. Now we've got the biggest graphics card I've ever had. Got this not long ago. This is the thing I upgraded recently and then decided the rest of the machine really wasn't going to keep up with it. I thought that just that upgrade would make things, a lot of things better. I was wrong. So take that out. Do I need to push down somewhere? Yeah, there's a little clip at the back of this card. Okay, so there's that. Alright, so there we go. RTX 2060. In spite of the warnings given about how the 2060 was stupid and nobody should buy it, and I don't care, I paid less than $300 for that thing. Alright, now I guess I can leave this in here and these in here, but I should unplug them from the motherboard. Maybe. Oh, geez, I need to know which ones are which. This sounds like a job for spike tape. Pop. Let's go ahead and swap out for just that one. Okay. Oh, look. Here's the thing that I was going to... I didn't realize I had that. Check it out. That is a PC speaker. And now it's gone. That was a PC speaker. I would like to keep that. Okay, so this is probably the... this is probably... Why won't that come out of there? It has a clip on it. Where did that get a clip from? That's probably the CD-ROM drive. CD-ROM drive gets pink flag for the CD-ROM drive. All right, and then a little pink. Give me that back. A little pink spike on the drive itself. So remind me which is which. Cool. Now, what is the order of these things? We got 1, 2, 3 from this side. These drives here are rated together, so I need to make sure that I get them back in the right spot. And so, drive number 1 is going to get a purple spot. How come it didn't have a pinch thing to open? Dunno. Alright, and then number 2 here. Cool. And we got a bunch of these, like, things that aren't plugged into anything. Or was this plugged into the... Was this what was in the graphics card? I don't remember. So now we've got, like, header stuff. Don't know what that is. This says it's a USB header. That says it's a USB header. They both look a lot the same. Unplug. Alright. Unplug. This says it powers a CPU. That's interesting. Okay. So that's those things. This says SPDIF out. I guess there's a hookup on the front of this for sound? No? I don't know what that hookup was for. HD audio, yeah, it's sound, but where's the plug for it? Used this computer for a long time. Didn't know there was an external hookup for sound. I knew there was all the stuff on the back of the board here. So we got, you see the I/O shield? There we go. We got lots of weird stuff there, including these guys right here. There's 6 little audio jacks, and I always wonder what those are for, because sure, you can do like surround sound, right? You got your extra things for all the speakers you can plug in. One of those might be for bass, who knows? But if you buy something, if you go shopping for speakers and it's what's it called? The surround sound speakers. If you buy like a computer set of speakers, it's 5.1. All of those speakers plug into each other and then down into a stereo cable that plugs into just one of these jacks. Like, where are the individual ones that can actually do what they're supposed to do, right? I have no idea what that's about, but they never They never do that right. What's next? What's next? What's next? I guess that's it for the motherboard. I can actually start taking its screws out. So we take our little screwdriver here. Motherboard appears to be unbending, if that makes sense. Like I'm releasing pressure on it and it's going back to the shape it would rather be in. That's unfortunate for it. Core unlocker. I wonder what that does. I gotta pull this out of the I/O shield. Oh hey, there's a big old power cable still plugged into this board. Let me get rid of that. Okay, so whatever this is, how many pins is that? The 24-pin single thing for powering the motherboard. That would have been 2 Molex cables on the last one that I built, labeled P8 and P9. If that means anything to you, you can tell how long it's been since I've done any of this stuff. That is a captive screw. This is really... I think that they built parts of... Oh no, here's more plugs. I think they built parts of this stuff around the board after they put this in there. Like, I feel like I might have to remove other cables or fans. There, I click. Or at least I would have if I was putting this back inside. Wow, so that felt super dangerous, and there goes my extra screws. Okay. Now I've got all these standoffs in here. And... Oh, there's a... I found a bug in the computer. That may explain some problems. According to lore, one of the earliest computer bugs that there ever was a moth, but I think that one was bigger than the moth I just had. I can see crud all up in the power supply, but I can't really do anything about it. Can we switch back over to top? Let's go both. I don't know if I can get this where you can see it. Yeah, I think you can. So, like in here, it is super dusty inside there, but blow-off stuff isn't really helping at this point. There's a filter on the bottom. Why is there a filter on the bottom? There's nothing there. Like this filter that I just pulled off the bottom, the port that it covers doesn't have a fan or an opening on the other side. It's just kind of like the bottom wall of the power supply. Yeah. Does that mean this power supply is upside down? That can't mean the power supply is upside down, can it? Look at this. Look at this. If it'll focus close enough. This is the bottom of the thing. This is where that filter just was. Look here. The filter was over this, but that's just hello. Hold up. Hold up. Turn that off. Computer smashed into the TV remote. Anyway, so that's the power supply, right? But the other side of the power supply in here has a fan, as if this should be facing this grill on the bottom, but that can't possibly be right, can it? That can't possibly be right, because then, oh, new follower. Welcome, whoever followed. Because if that was there, then how would it get... No, I think that is right, because then the exhaust would be this one. So it wouldn't share any continuous airflow with the crud. I think this power supply has been upside down for 10 years. Wow. I guess there's only one thing to do about that. We'll take it out and flip it around, see if it can be done that way. If it can fit back in here upside down, and that, oh man, that's okay. So you remember how I told you I bought this thing like all together? I feel like that was a problem. Let's take off some of these thumb screws and put them with these other screws that I'm definitely not going to lose. They all roll off the table. Oh, jeez. Okay, doing this again. Okay. Both of those, both walls are in. Stop. Don't kill my other motherboard. Stay. Okay. So this side has never seen the light of day before. I don't want any of that near me. Gross. And fan again. We'll just let that happen. Okay. So I'm pulling out the power supply. Screwdriver. What did I just set that on? Everything. Everything is just like laying there. Now, I asked my friend to bring me a screwdriver. He never came back, so I'm using this giant thing here. Oh, don't do that. I'll take one of those. Wait a minute. It cannot be upside down. Because this key... Oh, no, it isn't. Never mind. The case has a way for it to go either side. The case has a way for it to fit in either side. Alright. So definitely doing that. Taking that out. Here it comes. Okay. By the way, I'm allergic to dust. Ooh, another viewer. Cool. Welcome more viewers. Just in time to see me get sick from the dust here. Is this overhead light just radiating off of my unbelievable whiteness? Do we need it? It's useful for the overhead shot a little bit. The camera compensated well, so you guys, it still looks like kind of like it's lit up in here, but to me it's a shadow in person now, so I guess I kind of need that. I need that. But it's just not going to compensate for me, so we'll turn off me. There we go. Okay, I forgot what we were doing. I'm going to take this card, this GTX thing, and I'm going to put it over here. Over on the swap shelf. And get ready for that. Okay, so we've got all these little standoffs in here. That's probably good. I think we need a motherboard at this point. Also need a bigger table, but ain't gonna happen. I am gonna take this motherboard. I'm gonna set it right here. This motherboard came with a chipset support DVD. Wow. Yeah, don't need that. Came with stickers. You may have the stickers. There you go. It came with I/O shield, so we will definitely need that. We'll probably need to pop out the old I/O shield. It came with SATA cables? Why would it come with SATA cables? I kind of figured that most people wouldn't be using SATA drives like I am with a motherboard this new. Don't know. A little weird sticky thing for use with an M.2 drive. We've got some SATA cables. We've got some Really tiny standoffs. I'm not real sure what that's about. ASUS. Specification update notification. Wicked. Alright, we got a page that can't be picked up. There we go. Oh, nice. Certificate of reliability. That is amazing right there. This is like a nice piece of cardboard too. This is not cheap. This is a good thing here. Like, I probably should frame the certificate of reliability. We'll stick that back in the box for now. Now we need a good place to put the board and work on it. You office workers, don't even pretend you've never cleaned off the desk with canned air before. Now we can bring back the motherboard. Now, Linus likes to work with the motherboard on the box, and that's great for most people. You know, it's better than setting it down on the carpet or whatever. But this desk is made of wood. This is literally just solid wood. It's 2x4s and a sheet of plywood on top. So I feel like it would be just fine to work on that as well. If this gets unruly for whatever reason, I will do that. Now, this tiny little square, you see this? This tiny little square right here is the place where I'm going to put this tiny little chip. So let's get this chip out. Chip. Knife. It says heatsink included. Heatsink fan included. Okay, so that explains the size of this huge box for that tiny little chip. What we got here? We got plastic, we got box, Zen 2 architecture, AMD socket AM4. Switch back to me. So we've got this big thing that was in that box. This is the cooler that came with the chip. And it is nice. And I am having a really, really hard time justifying this monster. Does anybody in here know of any real good reason why I should actually open this and not send it back? Because this is huge. This is great. What is so wrong with the stock cooler that I should need to get this monster? How much was this thing? Trinette, can you find out how much the cooler was? Did you order this or did I? If I had realized that thing came with a gigantic heatsink, I probably would never have ordered that other one. I'm not going to be overclocking. I'm not going to be... Is that pre-applied thermal paste? Look at that. Is that pre-applied for thermal paste? I sure hope there's more than that. Can you see how much it was for the cooling fan? What are these? Some sort of power things. I'm going to stick this back in here. If this didn't come with any thermal paste, that may be an issue. Well, let's see. We haven't opened up the rest of the box yet. We've still got... Let me set this aside. We've still got this thing. And we've got box. We've got... Important! Please read! The AMD desk... Hold on. These are both the same. These are literally both the same. They both say please read. They even have the same page number on them. Okay. The AMD Ryzen Desktop 3000 series desktop processor contained in this package is compatible with all 500 series motherboards out of the box. Is that a 500 series motherboard because it said it had the 550 chipset? I hope so. And it's compatible with 400 series motherboards when a compatible BIOS update has been installed. Fancy. Please visit the manufacturer's website for your motherboard to verify the stuff. I did this already, so I don't need those anymore. And that's an empty box now. I don't need that anymore. We got Ryzen 7. This is it. $300 something. for this tiny little square. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? 300 something bucks for a tiny little square. $50! Are you serious? I'm sending it back. I'm definitely sending it back. I did not know that it was going to come with its own. I would rather have the money back. Not even going to open that. Alright. Tiny, tiny little pins. This is heavy. This thing is really heavy. Alright, so now... Are you sure it was the cooler that was 45 bucks? That is... I feel like I wouldn't have spent that much on a cooler at all. Okay, so let's lift up the little thing here. I guess this is still a ZIF socket. And there should be a mark for pin 1. This has a triangle. This has a triangle. So I'm going to put the triangle on the triangle. And it just dropped in. That was definitely zero insertion force socket, so there's that. Okay. What's next? I guess we could put in memory. Let's put in some memory. So, got myself some Corsair Vengeance something or other memory. Ooh. Alright. Now, how do I open this thing without destroying the chips inside? Aha, sandwiches. It opens up like that. Okay. Now, we will spread these dudes out. Let's see, is one of these, are these numbered at all? Open! Only one side opens now. Look at that. These sides move and this side is stiff. Okay, that's definitely different. So we've got... Looks like the pin fits this way. Are they numbered? Yes. They're numbered. So, I'm going to put this in thusly. Maybe. I'm going to put this in there. Click, click. Okay. I feel like that's good. And I'm going to take another one here and facing it the right direction, I'm going to put it in too. Alright. There's those. So that's some memory. What is this? Certificate of authenticity. Read this first. Installation instructions. In every language, including picture language. So, yeah, I'm just going to set those aside. And I'm going to turn off the fan. I'm going to set those aside. And I'm going to go back to the box here. Where's my box? More memory. Alright, memory. Memory. Click, click. And click, click. Which means there's probably zero chance of me upgrading the memory on this machine during its serviceable lifetime. Alright, don't need those anymore. This one has a Ryzen 7 sticker. You get the sticker. We'll put those on later. Don't need that anymore. Okay. Important, please read. We did. Don't need that anymore. There's that. We should now figure out if the card actually fits on there. I'm actually starting to worry about this. Now, PC part thingy, whatever, said that it would fit. And I'm really beginning to wonder if that's going to fit. This thing only has a couple of slots. I don't know how this works. Which way is the front or back of this thing? So that can't fit there because that extends past the edge of the system. Take it back out. If I put it here, does it have others? No, it doesn't have other slots. So what is this thing? I wish I had the motherboard book back, but I threw it. Okay, so that makes it intermission. Yep, intermission there. Oh no, now he is over here. Haha. I forgot what I came for. Oh wait, I want the book back. Okay. I'm gonna take this book back. And that's it. Crazy stuff going on back in that room. Alright, I got the long reachy grabber, I got the book, but more importantly, I got the long reachy grabber. That way, I can just reach out and grab whatever else I need to retrieve in case I did something stupid. Okay, intermission's over. If you forgot to get your coffee refill, it's too late now. Sit down. What was I doing? Box. I don't need a box. I need this thing to tell me what that little weird thing is in the middle of the motherboard. Because I don't remember reading about that. Ah, here's the problem. It doesn't say. It shows M.2 socket. There's an M.2 socket under that thing. So that would mean that you have to take your graphics card out in order to install something on that. Okay. The back of the machine with the cards is going to be this way, so that will fit into the box this way, which means that I can't hang it over the edge. So if I were to put this in this slot, and it would hang over the edge, it would do so into the power supply. So that's not a possibility. So it's gotta fit into this. And now the use of the box really comes into play because I can hang that thing over the side, push this down in there, and it's sitting on something. I hope that's good. I hope that's what it needs to do. Now, do I need to replace this dude in here? Does this thing have, what does it have on this side? It has some kind of LAN connector. If it's at least gigabyte LAN, then I don't need to install that card. And so that's cool. It says storage, expansion, memory, chipset, CPU, USB stuff. Ethernet! Oh! This thing has 2.5 gigabyte Ethernet. Whoa! Okay, well, that's fancier than I realized it was going to be. I don't need this card anymore. Okay, so, I'm showing you a card that's not on the screen. Well, there. I don't need this card anymore. And I don't know if you guys were seeing it the whole time I was demonstrating hanging this off the edge of the thing. But it doesn't matter, it's too late now. And that right there looks like an M. What? This looks like an M.2 slot. Not the thing I just covered up. So M.2 1 and M.2 2. Oh! It is also an M.2 slot, and I'm guessing that the little ramp that I just put the card on top of is there specifically to hold up a fat graphics card? I don't know. Like I said, some of this is a little new to me, but I'm also pretty smart, I've been told. So, like, I can guess things real good. M.2 key, something, expansion slots, all this stuff. Okay, so there's that. What's next? We got memory, we got CPU, fan. It is pre-applied thermal paste. Boy, that is really, really minimal thermal paste, but it is there. It looks good. I'm not going to touch it, see if it's sticky and stuff. I think we can go ahead and just put this on here, and I'm going to do a just so. Just so. Is there anything I'm going to cover up if I don't do this right? See, the problem I don't want to run into is if I, little things underneath here that I have to take it back off for. It doesn't look like it. It looks like that's a fan header right there. Right there. And this has a fan, and that is definitely not it. So it's got to be one of these guys then. CPU optional? CPU fan. Okay, so this is the fan header. This might be something that monster would have needed. Don't know. Don't know. There's a jumper here for something. Clear TC. Ooh, okay. Don't know what that means either. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this on. So, does it make a difference which way I put it? I don't know if it makes a difference which way I put it. So I'm going to put it this way. This will need to go some kind of clip. Looks like I picked that up to tighten it. Okay, so we'll put this side on first. Right there. And then we'll put this side on next. Yes. And then they both go in, and then I tighten that. Oh, good. It clicks all the way over. Okay. That's snug. I like it. And I didn't have to screw anything down. Boy, old builds like this, you'd have to actually screw the stuff down on top. So, yeah, I'm happy with that. Definitely happy with that. So the next part would be, I guess, fitting it into the box. No, I can plug this in first. Just for fun. Which one is pin 1? There is a shield, so that makes this pin 1. There we go. Okay. And SATA stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. I guess these are where the USB thing's plugged back into. That looks like that SPDIF, but it says COM. That's disturbing. I hope I find out where that SPDIF thing went. Maybe this is it. Don't know. Eat X power. Eat times power. I don't know what that means, but it's the power thing. I think it actually said eat whatever on the other one too. So let's see. Did this motherboard box not come with screws? It came with these couple of tiny little Oh, I'll bet I know what these are for. Just putting these standoffs down in here. I'm going to take this card back out for a minute so that I don't lose them. Because apparently these have something to do with the M.2 slots that I hope to use sometime in the future. Just attach them to the motherboard where they go. Alright, so the next thing I want to do actually is reseat this card. Hang on. Priorities just changed. Let me just reseat this. This little graphics card here that nobody can buy anymore because of the stupid shortage. Alright. Now I can set this aside. Did you get an SSD? No. I have 2 SATA drives in here, hard disks, and I'm keeping them from the previous build. Later I intend to upgrade to an SSD or an M.2 SSD, but not today. So the next thing, I already unscrewed it. And every cable in this, oh man, it's all going to the other side of the thing. Okay. Let me undo this. Let me undo some of these. Get out of there. All right. So just gonna flip this dude over and put it back in the hole. Man, what is that? LED I/O. Are you kidding me? That light could be turned off? That light could be turned off. Okay, so normally this power supply glows blue when the computer's on. And after 10 years, I just found out that could be switched off. So there's that. Power supply screws were the silver ones that I'm about to drop. Don't drop. Okay. Okay. Get on there. And maybe. That's one. All right. I feel so accomplished with the one that I just pulled off of there. Should that be out that far? I do not know. But I do believe that this 850, can you see it? That my 850 power supply, it's looking mighty fine. Definitely keeping it from the old build. It has never given me any kind of trouble. And I've never really put it through its paces. With the new card, I might actually be able to do that, or at least get closer to it. Alright, one more screw, and the power supply is where it's supposed to be after all this time. That's not where that one goes. Hold on. Okay, there appears to be 5 places to put screws into the power supply, and I've only got 4 screws to put in, so the computer will just have to deal with it. What else? I guess now's the time we actually try to mount the motherboard into the thing. So, I don't think, oh, I/O shield. I/O shield first. I/O shield first. Actually, that probably means we should take out the old I/O shield. That's this one. Honest to God, I don't remember ever having to do that before. I don't think I've ever actually swapped out an I/O shield in a machine before. I've put in new ones. I've failed to put ones in because I moved a motherboard and didn't take the I/O shield, and so it just had to live without an I/O shield from then on. But this is the first time I'm actually doing it right, I guess. Now, which way does that go? Those go on that side, which will face out, so this is the bottom. Push. Ah! Push, push. Push, push, push. Push, push, push. Alright. Display port out, HDMI port out. Some weird thing about the BIOS. Hold on. I think this thing has a PS2 port for a mouse. Boy, gamers get weird about things like that. Gamers definitely get weird about things like that. USB is too slow, wireless is too slow, it's got to be a PS2 mouse, right? So, let me set my card to the side just a little bit. I mean, seriously, look at this cooler. What's wrong with this cooler? That is a lot of copper. That is a lot of pipes. That's a lot of fins, right? This is a good cooler. I don't know why I shouldn't trust this cooler. I'm going to trust this cooler. Now, we've got 1, 2, 3 standoffs there. We've got 1 standoff there. 1, 2, possibly 3 there. So I could use 1 more of these standoffs if I had it, but I don't. And that corner is probably the least necessary, so we're just going with it as is. As is. If I can get this down in here. If I can get this down in here without destroying my entire thing. If I can get this down in here without having to remove all of these cables. Motherboards bend a little bit. It's fine. There's an awful lot of clicking that I wish I wasn't hearing. Oh, man. Okay, so that's getting really close to where it goes. I'm continuously digging cables out from underneath it. The ports have met the I/O shield. I can see the standoffs! All right. And you get a motherboard screw. And you get a motherboard screw. Maybe. And you get a motherboard screw. Why is that off? You'd think once you got like 2 or 3 of these in here that all the rest of the holes would necessarily have to line up at that point. But that doesn't seem to actually be happening. So this one is just a little jacked, so I'm going to kind of force it in to pull the rest of them together. All right. And this one over here. Okay. 2 more screws. Maybe. If I can... There we go. If I can get this thing to accept 2 more screws. Then we turn that there, and boy, that's not something I can really reach. Will that hold on to a screw? Just barely. Just barely. Guys, get ready. This is the thing that he does right before he has to dig a screw out from under a motherboard. No way! It worked. Okay, furthest one. Place your bets. Is it catching? Oh, crap. Did I strip it? Did I just scratch the motherboard? Is it just turning forever? No, it's snugged. Oh my god, it's snugged. Okay, that means the motherboard is mounted. I'd like to thank my agent. Can't see. Oh, the motherboard. Shiz mounted. Give me just a second to get off all these cables here, and then we'll turn it to a better way. Let's see. This needs to go through. I don't know. Maybe here. Maybe this too. Maybe this little one. Maybe they all do. So that's shoved through there. That's shoved through there. Give it a little blow off. And get this back panel back on it. Because the whole time I had it laying on its backside with this panel off, and I was spinning it around on the table, and it occurred to me that I was actually doing that to all those cables. So I really kind of want to get this, you know, closed immediately. This is clearly a 6-handed process. Did that close? It closed enough to where I'm going to tighten it down and see if that stops everything and makes it die. Okay, there's one of those. There's one of those. All right. Now we can check it out. Okay. So now we've got all of these header things in here. That one says USB, so does that one. All of these things are like just tiny little one-off things that I feel like there should be a book somewhere for that. SATA we marked. SATA is easy. So let's see here. Pink was that. See the pink right there? So I'm going to put that at the end of the chain. Are these things numbered? They are. So I'm going to put that on slot 4. If I can turn this around. Ow. Okay, so that's on slot 4. So purple was number 1. Because those drives are rated together and I need to get them back on in the proper order. So that's rated, there we go. Okay. Actually, not rated. Those are LVM, Logical Volume Management. All right. That one says hard drive LED. Oh, good. Most of those are labeled. Maybe the book will have information on this sort of thing. We could put the card back in, but I feel like that will make it harder to put these things in. So the next one I want to do is this, which, oh good, it might actually reach. Let's see if I can get, I'm going to have to stand up. Let's see, this is pinned, so usually that means you cannot get it wrong. You can try, but it should reject it if it's wrong. Okay, so that was good. That was good. But then again, you know what they say. If you make something idiot-proof, someone will build a better idiot. Okay. Speaking of, let's get the book out and see what all these pins do. Book. Okay. Yeah, there's a whole list of these things. So, F panel, front panel. Yeah. Front panel's number 17. Does that mean I go to page 17? Clear CMOS header, Aura RGB headers. I don't have any RGB stuff. Speaker header. Yeah, there was a speaker. Oh man, did it fall on the ground? It fell on the ground. That's okay. I have a Reachy grabber that says, this is my PC speaker, right here. Just a good old-fashioned piece, and it's gone. Okay. Is it in the box? Yes, it's in the box. This is where I meant to put it. I didn't drop it. I was just putting it there because it goes, you know, it goes here somewhere. COM, debug, other stuff. Which one's the speaker header? This one says speaker on it. Now, which one's pin 1? It's not keyed. It doesn't say. I think it doesn't matter which way I plug in the speaker. So, okay, this computer has a PC speaker now. That's the thing that goes beep, you know, and that's all it does. Sometimes it makes noise. Not sound, noise. Looking in the book again. Wait a minute. Where did all the rest of the plugs for this thing go? That's these guys. I will have to do all the power again. Oh, look, there's a bunch of them hanging out over here. That's probably good. Ha! I just realized something. So you remember how I was like, I hope that I have the right plugins for the new graphics card? This is the new graphics card. I already had it, and it was already plugged in. So at this point, I am now pretty confident that I have the right plugins for the new graphics card, since I've been using it for months. Plugged in. Okay. Back to the book. You can't be smart all the time. This is why I'm using the book. Alright, pin header, speaker. We did that. The speaker allows you to hear system beeps and warnings. That's not usually true anymore because they will have it... a lot of modern operating systems will have the PC speaker module, the kernel module for me, is not going to be loaded. I will actually have to modify the operating system to tell it that I want the speaker to beep. So, for most people, that's just super annoying. But I'm into super annoying. That's why I have a mechanical keyboard. Cherry MX Blues. Compatible. Not real ones, but like the Chinese kind. Unplug the power cord before installing or removing the motherboard. Failure to do so can cause you physical injury and damage motherboard components. Man, if what I did to this thing hasn't already damaged the motherboard components, then I don't know what else could. Okay, so I guess this is the part of the game where I just see what fits and hope there's not things that fit places they shouldn't fit. Alright. So, this one, for example, says USB. Can I get it any closer? I kind of can't. I gotta get the back wall off of this again. And push those through a closer place. What was I doing? Oh, these USB dudes right here. Okay, so I'm going to pull them out of this side. Front panel. Okay, so that's the hard one. That's what I was trying to find in the book, and it wasn't being super duper helpful. Where's the layout for the front panel thing? A map! I found a map. Front panel audio header, AAFP. We decided this didn't have front panel audio, didn't we? Although the last motherboard had something to do with audio, and I don't know why. Doesn't matter, let's not get off of this again. Front panel, system, power LED, 2-pin power LED. Okay, I think... Man, this is so hard to see. I know it's even worse for you guys, but deal with it. I've got to be able to actually see this. I've always said it's a lot like being a surgeon, but you don't have to get, you know, crud all over your hands. Oh, crud, I plugged those into the wrong ones. I can't see through my own fingers, so I can't figure out how to put this on here. Did it go? Did it go? Did it go? We're going to pretend it went. Okay, there's that. What's the next one? The next one says... Alright. There's that. Do I have any more things to plug in? AAFP is front panel, something or other. Speaker! Speaker! Where'd my speaker go? Speaker! Hello? Here it is. Speaker! Okay. You bend over that way so you stay out of the way. Okay, I've plugged in so many things at this point that I think... Hello? I've plugged in so many things at this point that I think I can go ahead and reseat the graphics card. So I'm going to There you are. I'm going to go ahead and reseat the graphics card. And that was going to go on this inside one here. Oh, there we go. Clickety click. And we throw in a couple of screws here for good measure. So I think we can switch back to the overhead view at this point. That's a 1. That's a 2. I hear beeping. That means it's 9 o'clock. Closing that one. Closing that one. And this one. Now the problem with these breakaway gates on these is that now that I've taken this card out, there's no way for me to put anything back in there to cover that up. Used to have drawers full of slats that could go in there. But it's been a long time, like I said, since I've been doing this sort of work. So there's that. Still want to know what these things are. Still want to know what those are. Book. Here we go. Wait, no, those came with the fan. So those are this instruction. So it says that goes there, that goes there. Already did that. Place the heatsink on the processor. Clip the retention hooks over there. Plug in the fan header. I did all those things. So what are these? I don't speak any of these languages. So what are these? I have no idea what these are. There's little plug-in places. Oh, wow. That just dropped off of there. And this looks like it might fit in that hole. You gotta be kidding me. Why doesn't it say anything about this in the instructions? It's got to tell me something about this in the instructions. Prior to installing, record the serial number on the... Yeah, right. Warning, ESD equipment, do that, do this. Fan, header, LED, RGB header option. Are they telling me that the stock cooler has RGB stuff in it and that this is the cable that does that? Because it sounds like that's what they're telling me. Because this end will definitely plug into that device right there. And this end will definitely plug into the thing labeled RGB header. More research is needed. There's that. There is a... Okay, there's a switch. There's a freaking dip switch on this fan. LED option A, USB header. For those who want to do... For those who want via software, download CPU cooler solution. Option B, RGB header. For those who want to control it with their motherboard. Not available. That's exactly what this is. Wow! And there's an A and a B? Which one's which? Oh yeah, slipped on like a glove. Now, if I could just get it to not interfere with the fan, which I don't think I can do with the graphics card in place, so it's coming out again. And this switch says low or high. Alrighty then. These look... Oh, they're not the same. One's 4-pin, one's 3-pin. This is 4-pin. That means it's yours. You win. And now the 3-pin thing can be closed back up with this tiny little hair rubber cap thing. I may have been wrong about being able to put this back in. Maybe if I turn it over. Yes, okay, that went back in. That's a thing. I did that. I did that. I'm not going to pretend I'm not surprised. I'm surprised. Still don't know what this thing is. Com Debug, ADD Gen 2. I don't think I have any of those things. So now we get to put the card back in. Yeah, again. This interferes with the fan, and so I'm going to find a way to tape it or something over there. Ow. It bit me. Are these the right screws? Why do I have 4 of them? Oh yeah, I have 4 of them because I used to have a card in this other slot. But now I don't. But I'll put the screw back in there because it looks like the same screw that the power supply takes. So I'm going to shove it in the extra part of the power supply and see if they're actually threaded the same. It feels like they're not threaded the same, so don't force it. This can go back here. Okay. We got RGB, guys! I've never wanted RGB. Now I have it. Next, I've plugged in the drives. I need to make sure all the power cables are hooked up to the things that need to be powered. I don't know what that is. That's 2 sets of 4 pins. That's an 8-pin jack. So I'm thinking this might be... It says CPU. It literally says CPU on it. So I'm no longer thinking that that's where that goes. I think I pulled this off of the motherboard before. Way over here. Way over here. Dude. That's just going to be... Like, if I had gone with that other thing, this wouldn't have worked. There'd be no way. How do I get these to be nice to each other? Okay, so when I put them together, the little clips line up. Now it's just a matter of actually pushing it down in there. I heard a click, and one of them got in a place where I can no longer get to it. Yeah, like, I gotta pull... Ow! That hurt! I wish that hadn't happened. Trying again. Okay, let's see here. How about pinchers? They're not super long pinchers, but I feel like I can maneuver this thing around just enough. Now I feel like I was wrong about that. Got it. And clicked! Wow, I was actually starting to picture taking the motherboard back out in order to plug that in. So we got all those. Now, power for this. There are 2 of them, but people like to do weird stuff with like 2 cards in their machine. And so I'm thinking this is one of them. Let's see if we can clip these all in here. They fit. They fit. That was, you know, that was actually really quick. So that has power now. Are the drive powers connected back to wherever they needed to go? Oh, I know what it is. I know the last thing to do. I know what the last thing is to do. And you can't watch. Well, maybe you can. Let me see. This needs to shove back up in here. I'm through with the wall being off. Blech. So let's get the wall back on this dusty old thing. Not happening. There we go. Thumb screws back in. So this is where we're working now. And if I can get the rest of those things plugged back in, they all look pretty much the same. 12 volt number 1. Does it really matter which one goes in where? That's plugged in here. It says PSU only, which is cool. I think they're all the same. I don't know why one of them is sticking out. I think this is the last thing to plug in. It's plugged in. Let's turn it on. Let's switch to the big camera here. Plug it in. Let's plug it in. Let's get a power. Let's get a monitor and a keyboard. Yeah, you'd think I would have thought this far ahead. Didn't know I'd get far enough to actually need to plug the thing in. Ow! We will just go USB, not USB, what's it called? HDMI to HDMI. All right. TV on? Where's the on button? There's the on button. Okay, computer on. One click there. And front panel button. And that. Look at that. Look at that. We got RGB. We got RGB. And it's being interfered with. That's not what's interfering. It's not that one. It's not that one. Ah, it's this one. I can fix that. Okay. Top case fan. We'll just stop that fan for right now. Okay. So, what's on over here? It says, new CPU installed. Oh, you noticed. Please enter setup to configure your system. Push the button. F1 to run setup. Okay. I'm going to turn off this overhead light. I don't need that part anymore. There you go. Ooh. There's pictures of fans. There's all kinds of weird stuff. We got a Ryzen 7. We are good to go.